The Reeds of Runnymede describes the flow of history into memory and memory into character, all encapsulated in the symbols of the English landscape, the Reeds of Runnymede and the great River Thames, that keep alive the voices of the ancestors, echoing down from Magna Carta, and reminding rulers that they are not above the law, and that there are limits to their power. Kipling evokes the image of the whispering reeds that witnessed the humbling of King John centuries ago as a symbol of the character of the English people, who bend so far but never break, tempered and reasonable, but ultimately resolute in defence of their rights. The reeds are rooted in the land as the people are, and their voices speak of ancestral memories that stir the spirit of the nation, imagined as the great river as they keep the sleepy Thames awake. The voices of the reeds murmuring through the air, "You mustn't sell, delay, deny a free man's right or liberty," unbinds the words of the document from its legal confines into the very atmosphere of England, symbolizing the mysterious confluence of past, present, and future that illuminates the character of a people. The whispers carry a quiet warning to any who might meddle with this birthright, that the stubborn Englishry will be roused as they were at Runnymede. The central stanza, though, reminds us that Magna Carta is not just a romantic dream, and that the memories and the character are anchored with the weight of history. The abstract idea of rights and liberties that existed since time immemorial in the English and British people are, in Magna Carta, seized and pinned down in the king's quill as he is forced to sign a contract of specific obligations in solid time, with real mechanisms for ensuring their implementation. This core bulwark against the encroachment of the state is powerfully summarized in the central four lines of the fourth stanza with its pounding rhythm. No free man shall be fined or bound, or dispossessed of freehold ground, except by lawful judgment found, and passed upon him by his peers, which neatly encapsulates the idea of what it means to be a free citizen, secure in your liberty and property, and untouchable by arbitrary power, since justice is administered by the people, so that it cannot be used as a tool of oppression. The verse ends with a call to ancient memory, which is passed through the generations. Forget not, after all these years, the charter signed at Runnymede. Kipling ends the poem with the image of this memory stirring like a great wind across the rustling reeds, and swelling the mighty Thames as it thunders its warning to tyrants of any stripe, that the power of the people, once roused, is as unstoppable as a force of nature, the sense of which is enhanced throughout the poem by the repetition of the ancient name of Runnymede, flowing through the verse like the river itself. Here is the poem. At Runnymede, what say the reeds at Runnymede? The lissom reeds that give and take, that bend so far but never break. They keep the sleepy Thames awake with tales of John at Runnymede. At Runnymede, oh hear the reeds at Runnymede. You mustn't sell, delay, deny a free man's right or liberty. It wakes the stubborn Englishry. We saw 'em roused at Runnymede. When through our ranks the barons came with little thought of praise or blame, but resolute to play the game, they lumbered up to Runnymede, and there they launched in solid time the first attack on right divine, the curt, uncompromising sign that settled John at Runnymede. At Runnymede, your rights were won at Runnymede. No free man shall be fined or bound, or dispossessed of freehold ground, except by lawful judgment found, and passed upon him by his peers, forget not, after all these years, the charter signed at Runnymede. And still when mob or monarch lays too rude a hand on English ways, the whisper wakes, the shudder plays across the reeds at Runnymede, and Thames, that knows the moods of kings and crowds and priests and such like things, rolls deep and dreadful as he brings their warning down from Runnymede.